The following program contains views that are not those of WVTC, iNetworks Communications, their subsidiaries, affiliates, or financial supporters.
Hey, y'all. Good afternoon and welcome to the Exclusives Radio Show. I am your host, Pastor Corey Wright. As always, we know what the problems are. We know we need to solve them. What we offer on this platform is solutions, dedicated acts of action that bring about true change and not just talked about change and no excuses. For excuses are mentors of incompetence that build bridges to nowhere and monuments of nothing. Broadcast live from the WVTC radio and TV network here in Chicago, Illinois. I am very excited about today. Today, I will be talking about relationship courtesy. And it is such an amazing topic. I have great points. I am on fire today. I feel a preacher's anointing on me. I feel like getting into it because this show was birthed recently. It was birthed today, but it was birthed off some beautiful actions. Let me first give homage to my to Pastor Jarvis Hanson, my pastor, great man of God. He was on my show last week and he bought the house down. Go get his new books, Covenant Chronicles. It is such an amazing book. I've been reading it. And I thank him for opening up and welcoming me in and teaching me the things I don't know and the structure that I so needed in my ministry and in pastorship, in leadership. I have a lot of abilities and a lot of gifts from God, but he has taught me how to structure. It's like having amazing athleticism in basketball, but you don't know the fundamentals. And he taught me the fundamentals, and is teaching me the fundamentals, and I thank God for him. Today's show was inspired by a person because I have been studying. I have been, studying under prophetic counseling. The woman of God said that I had a prophetic counseling with Prophet June said some things to me about what God is doing in this season and the things that I will find and the people that was coming into my life. And then I've learned a lot from Prophet Greta and taking the course of her prophetic counseling, far as learning my history, learning my purpose, my fivefold ministry office, ordained office, and where to go in the future and my purpose and what to do. And then on top of that, now I'm under the personal training of Pastor Jarvis Hanson, which is a blessing where he's teaching me how to structure. So in this great transition period for my life, God has strategically put me in places where I'm learning what I need to learn. And when we talk about relationship courtesy, we have forgotten that there are two people in a relationship. And just like I have needs, desires, admirations, or visions, somebody else do. And that people want to live a single life in a relationship. They want to have single boundaries, single ways of actions in a committed relationships. They want the status of a committed relationship. They want the benefits of a committed relationship, but they want to live separate lives. And so many people think because they were hurt, they've been through things in life that they're due something. They're owed something. They want people to pay a debt that somebody else made, somebody new to pay a debt that somebody old made, and could fulfill promises that somebody else made. And a lot of times people do not realize that people come with their own road to that moment with you. They come with their own things that they have to face on it. in their own life. Like everyone had a life before you. And most people have gotten so self-centered and narcissistic in their thinking that they only care about themselves. There are many people in life that have told me that they love me. And there are people who I believe that they love me, but it is not shown in their actions because every single thing they do lines up in a benefit to themselves and not to the other party. They give the person love that is comfortable for them to give, that doesn't stretch them beyond their comfort limits to give. They love a person because of what the person is to them and not love them because who the person is. That you have a right as a person to be where you can grow at and where you are better used by God at and where you are happy at, instead of being with just a good person. That we have to understand in life that just because you're a good person doesn't mean you're good for somebody else. And when this show came to me, because I recently met somebody not too long ago who have blessed me in less than a week more than I've been blessed in my entire life. Blessed me more in a week than I have been blessed in any relationship I've been in my life. Blessed me in a week, who have helped me get through some of the most trying times that I was going through recently, who blessed me and prayed for me when they're who out of all the people who say they love me and all the things that I've done, which I do nothing for anybody for no accolades or no conditions or want somebody bless me, but it feels good. And anybody who said it doesn't feel good for somebody to love you and appreciate you or to do something for you just because they do care, that means a lot. But most people only love me to the capacity of their need for me. They don't love me for who I am, where I'm going, what God is doing, and what I need from them. They only look at them, and most times it's always they're looking at every situation as either a victim that I did this or I need to do that or this or that, but they're never looking at it as a whole. Because again, they're looking at what it is I do for them opposed to who I am to them or who I am as a person or who God has me to be. Somebody blessed me that helped me with that. Said, I want to do something nice for your birthday because you've blessed so many people. You blessed me. I want to help you. I want to do this for you. I'm looking like, wow. It's nothing, like I'm asking anybody for nothing. But to think about me when nobody else is thinking about me but study benefit from me, that touched me because it was exactly what the woman of God prophesied, that God is going to bless you with somebody that's going to love you, but is going to bless you. That's going to bring something to you that you can feel good with. You can have a courtesy in them. You can have a safe space in them who don't just want or just take, but somebody that cares. And I was blessed tremendously. And from that blessing, this person said something that, how can you have a relationship without relationship courtesy? And I wanted to really get deep in that. And I feel that preacher's anointing on today. I feel it today. I feel like really getting into it because it's like me inviting you over to my house for dinner, but I'm going to feed you dinner in a cat bowl, or I'm going to feed you dinner in a garbage can lid. I'm going to give you dinner any kind of way because you supposed to take it because it's me inviting you over to my house. And we think because we are good people, we say great words and we do great things in life that we don't have to take cognizance of what we bring to somebody. We don't have to look at what we bring and what we say and how we love somebody, because people are not alone by themselves or always losing good people for no reason, because you have to look at the big picture. So let me say this. In relationship, courtesies involves treating each other with respect, kindness, and consideration. That is the most promising thing when you think about courtesy. I have to respect you. I have to show you kindness. I cannot just be indulging your kindness for me. I have to show you kindness. I have to think about you because I love you that much to think about doing something nice for you. But most people, when you do nice for them, they'll do nice for everybody else except the person that's doing them. I have family members who will bless everybody outside of their family, but won't bless their family, won't bring nothing to the table, won't do nothing. Expect because you are a person. Now, in my prophetic counseling class, I learned that one of my purposes is I have a sacrificial purpose. That my job as a man of God in my ministry that God has given me is to sacrifice for people. Most people that come here, I'm gonna make sure that I support them. I've never asked anybody to pay anything to be on my show. I've never asked anybody that's ever hosted a show with me to pay anything. I've never asked anybody. I've always been somebody, let me do something nice for somebody poor. But people don't get that because you know why? They're narcissistic in their thinking because all they care about is themselves. Now, and the reason why they do it now, let me just make that clear because this is in my notes. They're not narcissistic because they're bad people. It's because they've been hurt so bad by somebody else that they feel they're entitled to something. They feel that they owe something. So they feel like because of what I went through in life, I don't have to do nothing for nobody else. Everybody owes me because life owes me for what I've been through. And that's a wrong way of thinking because you are the recipient of what somebody else do for you, but they're also the recipient of what you do for them. But so it's not one-sided. I ask God to eliminate all one-sided person. People out of my life. And if a person is always talking about, that is not a person I want to be with. That is a person that's concerned with themselves, and they're never going to do anything that will take them out of that. They can't because they're worried about what God has shown me, what God has done for me, what I do. This is the way I see it. This is the way I. That is a person that shut me down real quick. I don't care how I feel about you. You will not be with me. I don't want nobody like that because love is give and take. But when you love somebody, you don't have to fight. And then most people think, like the psychologist said, and I'm gonna talk about it at the end of the show, where she said people are so misled and misguided. They believe that because you are wanting them to treat you with the courtesy you deserve, that you trying to get them to love you with conditions. It's like, wait a minute, for you to treat me like a customer and you treat me like you appreciate me being a customer, it's like a restaurant. You appreciate me being a customer, but I should appreciate you slamming my food on the floor or throwing it in a bag any kind of way or treat me any kind of way as a customer. I should be happy of that because at least I'm getting something to eat. We have got this twisted. And I'm going to talk about this today on the Success Radio Show. And you need to like, love, and share this. You need to let people hear this because a lot of people are not going to look at this because a lot of reasons why you're single is because you have no relationship courtesy. You have no courtesy towards people. All you want people to do is to fit in your world, your life, your conversation. You want everybody to be there for you the way you need them while you do absolutely nothing for them. And then the first thing you say, oh, there are no good men or there are no good women out there. They're not strong enough. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. I had somebody show me love in 1 week that rival any relationship I've been in my life. I had somebody that do what I do for people when they're in a bad place and this person, and I try to make them feel better by doing something nice for them and sharing who I am, what I am with them, and trying to bless them. I had somebody do that for me. I had made a mistake. This person prayed for me and said, this thing will be rectified. And this morning it was. Somebody like, man, let me do something nice for you. Let me appreciate. And the woman of God said, somebody will walk in. I don't have to be miserable just being with somebody good. And most people said, well, you know, I love you. Okay, what do you do with that love? In a relationship, courtesy involves treating each other with respect, kindness, and consideration. It encompasses small acts of kindness, thoughtful behavior, and decreasing negativity, especially during conflicts. I want you to really get that. It encompasses small acts of kindness. You don't have to go out of your way. It can be a little gesture. I have a thing that I'm always, let me bless you. Let me make you, let me surprise you. Let me do something nice for you. You know, and that's for anybody. I want to bless people because, again, I know what I do to the least of people, I also do it to God, and he blesses me. So, you know, it's little acts of kindness, thoughtful behavior. Let me consider your life. Let me ask you what it is about you that you like. What made you do that? Let me tell me some new things about you. Most people get on a phone call and go on about themselves. You can send, they ain't asking, they don't care. They ain't wondering about what it is. But then they turn around and say, I love you and God sent you to me. No, he didn't. You love who I am, and what I represent, and how I make you feel. You don't love me. You don't even take the time to get to know me. You don't even make who I am, what I am important. Somebody bless me. Open my eyes like never before. Open my eyes. And this is not somebody I'm looking for. This is not something I was so touched by the acts of kindness because I don't see this regularly. I don't see this regularly. 97% of my relationships are people taking. You know, this is what I need. There are people who have nothing. I'm going to bless. I'm going to help you. I'm going to do what I got to do. But as soon as they get on, you know how many people owe me money, never paid me? Supposed to be friends, family, people that I blessed and helped. They have no courtesy. And then it's not just romantic relationship, period. You're never going to say Corey ever took advantage of anybody and then bless them. You're never going to say Corey did anything like that. No, you're never going to say that. Everywhere I've gone, I've blessed. I've built up. Because you know why? Your success means a lot to me. The young lady that came in with all them wonderful pastries, I didn't ask her to bring something. She was going to bring something. No, I'll pay you because I believe in you. I didn't come here and ask anybody for nothing. My pastor was here last week. I said I'll buy 2 books because that's how much I believe in him and what he represents. That's what I believe in him. And that's why we have to look at it like people are not trying to get over. Now, we do that. We decrease negativity, especially during conflicts. When it's always about you and it's one-sided, that is where negativity grows and conflicts arise where it's hard to go back because it's all about you. Because you know what? If I can't put myself in your shoes, then I should know how you walk. I can't always see things from my point of view because I may be wrong. And I got to admit I could be wrong. You have to admit you could be wrong. When I demonstrate courtesy, especially as a mate, I can build a stronger, more harmonic relationship. I can build a relationship of harmony because I have common courtesy. I have courtesy. You matter to me. And you matter to me not just because I'm in a relationship with me. You matter to me. I take your happiness, your goals, and all the things that you want to do in life. I take those things personally. I don't want you to just be happy with me, but I want you to be happy in life. I want you to be happy with life. I want you to be happy. One of the things I learned in my prophetic counseling training course, which I'm still in, is I have to be in a place where I can grow and create. I will never be fulfilled in any relationship that I cannot grow in or nothing is being created. I don't have time for beautiful words and points. So when we think about the courtesy in a relationship, those small acts of kindness, offering a helping hand, bringing a small treat, or doing a chore without being asked. One of the things about my kindness is I want to do it because I'm thinking about you. This was I'm gonna give you an example. My baby boy, we have a friend of mine that lives next door to my mom. She does my taxes. She's an amazing woman of God. I knew she was doing taxes, so I bought her coffee the way she likes it, and I bought her favorite donuts, and she was just livid. You know, she was so happy. She was just hugging my son, and she was just thanking God. She was just so happy, and my son was like, "Wow, she is so happy. What, she couldn't have bought her own donuts?" I said, "Listen, she could buy 100 cups of coffee, probably more than that. She could buy 100 dozens of donuts. It wasn't the coffee and the donut that blessed her. It was the fact that somebody thought about her without her having to tell them to think about them. You know, offer a helping hand. Most people that offer you a helping hand is only doing it because they have a hidden agenda behind it. I'm only doing something because I'm not doing something, or I want you, or I'm trying to get something from you, or I'm trying to get you to be in a place where you need me, you know, instead of just doing it. You know what I mean? It felt good for somebody to think about me without me ever saying nothing, for me to bless me without ever saying nothing. It turned out to bless me greater than you could imagine. You know, bringing a small treat, doing something nice for somebody without them asking you. Thoughtfulness, considering the other person's feelings, preferences, and needs. This is something that has, in the world of courtesy and relationships, have evaded me until now, have invaded me in all my relationships. And I'm not saying that the people don't love me, my family members love me, but everything that I've ever done was out of consideration of me. You know, there are many times when people say, I need this done, or my family, I need this done, or I need something done, or I could be tired, I could be wore out, but I still need something done. And don't get me wrong, I love my family. My mom is the greatest mom in the world. I'll do anything. I don't care how tired I am. You know, but when we think about, even in relationships, it's always about what I want. Always about, don't worry about what the other person needs or want. You know, thoughtfulness, considering the other person's feelings, preferences, and needs. Even though, and listen, people of God, even though you see somebody who is a strong person, they probably going through stuff you don't even know it. And they're the most giving people. They need help too. Just like ministers and pastors and leaders, they need a joke too. They need a good word too. They don't always want to be on every end of negativity or to always hear about your problems, that they don't want to be a pastor 24/7, even though that's what they call to. They're a man too. Pastor Jarvis said last week that he's different Jarvises. He's a husband. He's a pastor. You know, he's a teacher. He's this. And we have to be able to look at that and be able to put everybody in their place. But we have to have consideration. I don't meet many people that have consideration to my feelings. I don't meet many people that can hear my heart and to consider my feelings. They'll listen to it and then they'll turn it personal. That is one of the biggest courtesy killers in the world. Somebody going through something, and the minute they ask you a question or want to be sure about something, you take it personally and you start in between you and them. So what happens is, not only did what was bothering them get pushed to the side, now they got to fight with you about something that didn't concern you. So instead of loving them and blessing them, you're adding more pain on. The worst thing you can do is to be in love with somebody you can't talk to. That is the worst thing, to be married to somebody, be in love with somebody that you can't talk to. The worst relationship to be in is a place with poor conflict resolution. I'm telling you, some of y'all out there dealing with that now. Somebody you can't talk to. I got friends that I can't talk to, love them to life. But I know the minute I say something wrong to them, conversation is over with. They hear nothing you say. Everything you say from the point you said something that they don't like, you're the enemy. There are people that I will end a conversation with before I say something to them. There are some people who only think about themselves in a narcissistic way, where all they do is turn things about them. You can't answer them a question. There were some real major things that I was going through the last couple of months, stuff was going through. And God sent somebody to help me. Not the people who say they love me. He sent somebody to help me, to bless me, open my eyes. Maybe like this, I got one life. I don't have to be somewhere that I don't want to be, that don't make me happy. I don't have to be somewhere. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. But when we look at life, if we don't have relationship courtesy, then what is it? Some people are lazy when it comes to their mates. They're lazy. They don't want to do nothing that don't benefit them. You know, I don't want to bless you because that don't benefit me. I want to see you in a place of physical abundance. Why? Because that physical abundance blesses me. I want to do something with you together so that I can be blessed. But, you know, there are many times where I've seen friends stressed, you know, or somebody I may be dating stressed. Let me send you somewhere where you can get a massage, or you can get pampered, or spa day, somewhere where you can unwind and be okay. I don't need to benefit from that. Most people don't bless people unless they benefit from them. They have no relationship courtesy. Another thing is respectful communication. That's a relationship courtesy that many people miss. Speaking kindly, listen attentively, and respecting each other's opinion. Most people always say not to cut you off, but you're cutting me off. And you don't care about what I say. I'm going to see it this way. I'm going to speak kindly, but I'm not going to listen attentively. Nor am I going to respect your point. There are people right now who won't listen. And a lot of times people say, oh, well, they left because they doing better, or they left. No, they always want to leave. You just ain't listening to what they've been saying. You know, they've been saying this for months. You know, I need a safe place to be in you. They've been saying this for months. I need to be able to talk to you, because once you mishandle a man's vulnerability, you have lost him. If a man is asking you a question and he's opening up to you to find that safe place in you and tell you his heart, and you mishandle that, you have lost him, especially if he's a good man. Because, and that's really anybody. If you mishandle their vulnerability, you know, you don't respect them with respectful communication. You have a right to believe what you believe. And if I want to know why you believe what you believe, I must do the research to find out why you believe. But I need to listen to you to find that. You don't have to agree with me, you know, to work with me. You don't have to agree with me to be obedient to what needs to be done. You know, if God said do it this way, you have to do it that way. You don't have to agree with it. You can be in God's will and not agree with it, as long as you're obedient. Most people are like, well, how is that? Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, he said, Father, let this cup pass. But then he said, nevertheless, let your will be done, not mine. Nevertheless is, okay, I don't want to do this. I wish there's another way. I don't agree. But nevertheless, I'll do it in obedience. And I'll do your will humbly. You know, I will do it. Well, what he had to go through. And so we got to get that. We have to be able to listen. Do you love the person or the idea of the person to you? Do you love what they bring you? Or do you love what you bring them? Do you care about them being okay? Do you listen to them, or do you cut them off to go on about your life? To go on about what you believe? To go on about your opinions? To go on about your life? Do you believe them? Do you let them have the floor? So many people would take somebody that's vulnerable and use it for them to mourn again. I want to mourn again. So I'm going to take the fact that you lost somebody and you're mourning to give me a chance to mourn again and study helping you through your mourning. And that's how people are. I don't want to listen to you. I just want to take your moment to give me another moment to have a moment. Ooh, that's deep, brother engineer.
You nailed it.
I don't want to give you your moment. I don't have any relationship courtesy. I just want you to bring up a moment for me to have another moment about a moment I had, even though you wasn't in that moment, just to have another moment. When we think about courtesy, we must avoid rude behavior, refrain from name calling, insults, or other disrespectful actions. Do you know being in a relationship with somebody that loves us does not give us a right to be rude or have rude behaviors? So many people think I have a right to say whatever I want to say to you. You don't. Somebody will say, well, you stop talking to me. Why should I talk to somebody who is nasty and rude? It does not give you the right to demean, belittle, or put down anybody because they're in a worse situation than you, or because they love you. Love does not give you a right or a gift-free card to mishandle and mistreat people. When God gives you a blessing of a great person who loves you, who you need and they need you, for you to treat them any kind of way. I don't care what the world is doing. I don't care how much pain you're in. I don't care what you're going through. You don't have a right to beat up the people you love or be rude. Well, you got to deal with my smart mouth. No, I don't. I can walk away from your smart mouth. Do you know how far getting married have went down? I was reading a statistic coming over here that people are not getting married no more because the rate of divorce is so high that people would rather have peace than marriage, because everybody is trying to protect what they have instead of working together to build more. Yes, I got a house coming into this marriage. And yes, you got a house coming to this marriage. But if we put my house and your house and put everything together, now we have 2 houses. Let's go get 4 houses or 6 houses. But people don't think that way. Think about the term prenuptial agreement. Basically saying, I love you, I believe we're going to work, but I don't trust you enough with the stuff I created before you. And if it doesn't work, you leave with what you're going to leave, or you leave with this agreed amount. Another thing is, we don't express gratitude. Thanking each other for their efforts, showing appreciation for their presence in your life. Every day you must tell somebody, I love you and I thank you for being there. You know, there is no marriage that is safe. If a person don't want to be married again or don't want to be married no more, you can't stop them being married. You can take some of their property, but you can't stop them from being married. You can't stop somebody for cheating. But if somebody loves you, stay there, married to you, giving you everything they got, you need to be grateful for that. You need to show gratitude. You need to be thankful that this person in your life, this person sees you in your worst. They see you in the morning. They see you when you're in the bathroom. They see you when you're sick. You know, they see all the words. You be thankful for a person like that. I'm thankful for somebody to tell me they love me and I love them. I'm thankful for what somebody do for me. I don't look for somebody to do anything for me, but I'm thankful. I'm grateful for everything anybody do. And what sometimes, and it's got to blow God away, how many people are ungrateful for the blessings he gives to them every single day. There are people thinking just because you married, you owe somebody something. Yes, you're supposed to have courtesy, but everything everybody do is a gift, even to the words saying I do. That is a gift. People don't believe in expressing gratitude. You know, thank you, baby. Thank you for blessing me. Thank you. Thank you for doing something for me. You know, I'm just going to take it for granted you must do. You know, there are people who don't even think about nobody else. Me, I think about other people. I'm always thinking about other people. You know, if I'm going to bless you with something, first thing I'm going to do is ask, who in your home? Let's get them something too. Let me bless you. I never go on a date without sending my date home some food. Never. Never. Why? Because I want to make sure they enjoy the evening, they have some more to feast on, but it may be somebody in their house that may be hungry, that need to be blessed. But you have some people don't worry about nobody else but themselves. All I'm thinking about is me. You know, we must be patient and understanding, bearing each other's imperfections and offering support during challenging times. Nobody is perfect. I must be patient and understanding and bearing each other's imperfections and other support during challenges. I will never leave anybody for their imperfections. if they're working on it. I'm not, we all go through, I know I'm the least perfect. My imperfections are many and a lot, you know, but I'm working on those things. I work hard every day to get better. I study the word every day. I am working, I have goals in front of me. I am asking God to make me who he created me to be. I am working towards something. That's the reason why I went to therapy, so that I would work on the things that have kept me bound for years, but I will not work on somebody who always want to have things their way, but never change what they do, or never see things from any other perspective of their own, who basically like, you know what, this is the way I am. I offer support. Somebody said, would you date somebody that's trying to get off drugs? I sure will, and help them get off drugs, because they're trying to get help. But if somebody who's on drugs that won't be honest about their drug addiction or their problem, no, I can't be with them. Not because they're imperfection, it's because they don't even try to get help for their imperfection. It makes me mad to see how many people complain about what's going on in the world, but do nothing to change it. Talk about how bad their life is, but do nothing to change it. And as soon as the guy blesses them with a little money or a little position or a little prestige, or bless them to get back on their feet, they go run right back to what knocked them down in the first place. They go right back to the same behavior that beat them in the first place. They go back to doing the same old thing they've been doing. And then they turn around and say, why am I in this position? One of the things when we look at the Bible, it says, seek first the kingdom of God and all its righteousness. Everybody want to do whatever they want to do, the way they want to do it, and then turn around and want to seek the kingdom of God when it blows up in their face, when it doesn't work, or their life doesn't reflect that, and they're at their lowest. Now I want to go to God, which is still a good time to go to God, but you should have went to him in the first place, because a lot of those bad times, bad charges, bad deals, bad people, you could avoid it if you would have went to the kingdom of God first. Many people don't want to do that, so they don't want to change. And then another part of courtesy is forgiveness. Being willing to let go of the past hurts and moving forward with a fresh start. Sometimes people think the way they hurt you is less hurt than the way you hurt them. They keep bringing it over and over again what you did. Like what they did to you don't matter. Yeah, I stabbed you, but I didn't shoot you. Okay, either way, we both still bleeding. Like always bringing it up. Well, you did this that time. Yeah, I did do that time, but this is not that time. So are we going to make this time that time again? Because you're going to keep bringing that up. And that's what people do. They always bring up the past, and then when you get mad, they're like, why you get mad at? You did it. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying is a reason why so many bad things have happened to people. I'm just saying. Why do you have to keep saying? Because that is a reflection of the fact that you have not let it go. That's why you keep saying, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I just got to remind you again that you didn't do what you said you was going to do, or you didn't do it, you hurt me. Why does courtesy matters in a relationship? When we talk about relationship courtesy, why does it matter? I'll tell you why. It builds a positive environment. Courtesy creates more positive and a supportive atmosphere. It makes it easier for a partner to connect and enjoy each other's company. I got to be welcome in your life. I have to be welcome and feel welcome in your home. I have to feel welcome in your life. I have to feel welcome around your kids. I have to feel welcome with you in your walk. And I have to make you feel welcome in my life. in my house, in my ministry, in my love. I have to make you feel welcome. I have to build a positive environment with you in it. And that environment has to be positive for both of us and not just for me. Because what I'm dealing with, you never dealt with it. I don't have a right to put my burdens on you if I don't know if you can handle it or not. I don't have that right. So courtesy builds a positive environment. And in a positive environment, partners, it's easy for them to connect and enjoy each other's company. It's a beautiful thing to enjoy somebody's company that you're building with. Because there are a lot of people company that you enjoy physically. And you enjoy them because of their beauty, or if it's a male, the way he looks, and you're enjoying them for what is pleasure to your flesh. But it's a different when you have an environment where you're happy with somebody's spirit. You're happy with somebody talking to them. You're happy with somebody being around them. You just have a good time. And there are a lot of things that have been prophesied to me that's been coming true, and things that's happening. And whether people accept it or not, oh well. Oh well. Another thing why courtesy matters in a relationship is strengthen the bond. Acts of courtesy demonstrates care and appreciation, fostering in a deeper connection and with intimacy between partners. For me to care about you creates a greater intimacy. You know what I mean? For me to worry and to do little things to you, say, let me send you something. Let me bless you. You know what? Let me do something nice for you. You know what? I know you like this. Let me grab it. It creates intimacy. Because if you can't do nothing outside of the physical, you don't want that person. You want their body. You want how they feel. You want the benefit of that person. If that person is making you feel like that you on top of the world with them, and you do absolutely nothing for them, you don't even try, you don't even worry about them, you're not with that person because you love them. That's not a bond. That's an infatuation. That's lust. Because lust often feels like love until sacrifice gets involved. See, lust is amazing. It feels like true love. As soon as somebody has to sacrifice, it strengthens the bond. If a person got relationship courtesy and they loving you and they doing for you and they helping you and they blessing you and they there for you without trying to get absolutely nothing from you, that's a keeper. We have forgotten about that. We have literally gone cold to what we bring other people. We have stopped caring on what we bring other people. We don't care anymore on what we giving people. We're working in the restaurant serving people uncooked meat because we've got to the point where we don't care what we giving people. All I want is your money, that restaurant is saying. All I want is your time. All I want is your patronism. All I want is what you bring me. I don't want any other that. And I'm going to make everything around you hard because I don't have that. That's why I'm very careful in opening my relationships up to people, to ministries, to things, until I'm married. Because what happens if it don't work out? Now you got to deal with this person in places where God is trying to use you. Because people don't want to give up. They don't get through their head. I offer you nothing, so I have nothing. All I want for you is what you do for me. Another thing is courtesy reduces conflicts. Being mindful of each other's feelings and needs, couples can avoid unnecessary arguments and disagreement. You know why most arguments happen? It's because the other person is not feeling the other person's feelings, or they are not sensitive to the other person's needs. They're not feeling that person's feelings, and they're not sensitive to their needs. They are in a position to get what they want, and they're not going to relinquish that power because either one, they've been in positions in their life where they had no power. Number two, they have been dogged by somebody who took their power. Or three, they don't know what power is, and they don't know what working together is. So what happens is conflict rise. I don't care about love. I don't care about what we can lose. I don't care about what we can gain. All I care about is making my point, and I'm willing to lose you to make that point. You have some people, I have friends like that. You can't talk to them. They don't care. I got friends recently. I got friends, period. You can't talk to them. You can't talk to them. I got friends that love of life again. You can't talk to them. They ain't hearing nobody else's view but yours. But theirs. They ain't hearing nobody else's view but theirs. And they will add all type of variables to be right, and that's why they losing good people. I know somebody right now will argue you to death. Good friend of mine. He will argue you to death. But he's losing so many great things. And he doesn't, and even though he doesn't want to lose these great things, he doesn't care. Because he got to be right. You have a lot of religious folks turn the Bible into their own personal thinking. And all they want to do is be right. And they'll find scriptures to make themselves right, even though there is no power in their disbursement of that word. No power. And people don't see miracle signs and wonders is because they're not using the word for the power it was intended to use. They're just trying to make a point. Conflicts are reduced when we start to think about other people. How does this person feel? One thing about courtesy in a relationship, where I care about you and your feelings, I take your happiness personal, is it improves communication. It improves communication. Because somebody wants to talk to somebody who wants to make sure they're okay and they care. They want to talk to people. It's easy to want to talk to somebody when you know they got your best interest at heart. It improves communication because they're not quick to prejudge what you said. They're not quick to take it personal. I used to think maybe it was hard for me to talk to people outside of church. Maybe it was hard for me to talk to people in relationships. Until recently, I talked to somebody. And I had no problem. I had somebody help me and bless me. Bless me in a way I thought it was not possible. And when you improve communication, it makes the relationship more enjoyable. When both partners demonstrate courtesy, the relationship feels more fulfilling and rewarding. If I'm blessing you and you're blessing me, we have a relationship full of blessings. But if it's all about you and you're not concerned with me, and your only rebuttal to that is, or you just love me with conditions. Because I'm your man, and I could be your man, and I want you to think about me. You know what I mean? That's something to think about. It blows me away every time I think about it. That somebody feels like you have you're making people love you with conditions because you want to be treated like you should be treated. You know, that is so sad. And I want you to think about courtesy is an important trait to consider the fortitude of those relationships. Courtesy is that effort of showing kindness, ensuring the behavior is reflective of positive disposition. You are not negative. You are not costly. Your words are polite, direct, firm, but courtesy. You know, what I want you to understand, what do you call someone who lacks courtesy? Disrespectful behavior can be blunt rudeness, just not acting impressed or awed by something others have hold sacred. Definition of disrespectful: it is an adjective exhibiting lack of respect, rude, and discourteous. The word courtesy comes from the word core, meaning heart. I want to stop there. Let me read that again. Disrespectful behavior can range from a blunt rudeness, just not acting impressed or awed by something others hold sacred. Definition of disrespectful is an adjective exhibiting a lack of respect, rude, and discourteous. That the word courteous comes from the word core, meaning heart. That courtesy comes from your heart. The lack of courtesy is what's in your heart, not love. Because if somebody loves somebody, they don't treat them in a negative, discourteous manner. They don't. If they truly love them, they're not going to beat them and abuse them. They love themselves. And rude, disrespectful is bluntness. You don't love a man or deserve a man when you negative and rude and like you running stuff. Talk to a man any kind of way. You're not in charge because you can speak to a woman any kind of way. That is not courtesy. I don't want no combative woman. I don't want nobody I got to go back and forth to. You want to prove something? Let's build something. Let's save something. Let's invest something. Let's build a future. I want to go back and forth about your opinion and my opinion, and we sitting up here with nothing. I'm worried about what you're thinking instead of worried about growing. Come on. Courtesy is politeness that shows consideration for other people. Courtesy involves action that's come from the heart, not empty politeness. We act such a way because we recognize respect for others. I don't want no empty politeness. If you don't want to speak to me, don't. Please don't. If you don't want me to come where you at, don't invite me. Don't invite me out of some sense of respect. If you don't like me, be honest about it. I'm okay with that. I respect that more. Like when it comes to bigotry, I respect an open racist than I do somebody that's racist trying to be my friend and stab me behind my back. Let's be open and blunt about it. You don't like me as a racist, and I don't like you because you are a racist. We have established that. We ain't got to be around each other. You go your way, I go my way. But I don't want empty politeness. Courtesy involves the actions from my heart. Don't do something for me because you're trying to impress me or you're afraid of losing me. I don't need empty politeness. I need somebody to truly love me and to bless me. And when you do that, you can feel it from the heart. You can feel it from the heart. There is nothing I've not done for somebody that you don't feel from the heart, because it's from the heart. Common courtesy is respect and dignity. I don't just have a right to love you. I have to respect you in a dignified manner, because you are a gift from God, and you have the ability to get whoever you want to get. And you want me, you love me, God bless me with you. I am not going to not respect you and do it in a dignified manner. I am not going to call you out your name. I am not going to not open doors for you. I'm going to go out of my way to make you happy, because you are a gift. And in that courtesy, I'm going to show respect and dignity. I'm going to acknowledge at all times your worth, not only to the world, to your kids, but most importantly to me. I'm going to acknowledge your worth. That's what courtesy is. Many people do not practice these basic manners, such as saying please or thank you, or often kind greetings, or affirm with dignity and the value of those that's around you. We don't promote a sense of kindness and empathy and interaction and showing people value. You know, people don't want to be lifted up, but it's good to show your appreciation. I thank you. You know, my mom used to feed me. Thank you. Thank you for loving me enough to feed me and not giving me up for adoption. You know, thank you for me being here and you not aborting me. I'm thankful for everything. Not saying she would, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful for this radio station. I'm thankful for the multimedia. I'm thankful for everybody that has ever blessed me with anything. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my pastor. I'm going to make sure I tell people the value of who they are to me, because you don't have to be that to me. That person don't have to be with you. Some of you all are with women that can get any man they want. Women who are super earners. Women who are doing major things and don't need you. And they love you and treat you with respect and dignity. There are some men out there ladies don't have what you have. But they're good men that will work hard to make you happy. But you may overlook them because they don't have the financial stability that you think they should have. Because your value is in your money and not in that heart. Because what profits a man to gain the entire world and lose his soul? That money you have attained is not going to help you in heaven. And some of you all been by yourself for years. But you want somebody on a certain level because you're not heart searching, you're pocket searching. Watch this. When you have positive interactions, you maintain eye contact, you listen attentively, and you speak politely. You enhance the communication, understand, leading to healthier and enjoyable interactions. You know how you have interactions with somebody? Learn how to listen to them and understand. Stop just talking just to answer. Some people don't need you to always interrupt them and jump in and monopolize the whole conversation. They don't need that. Some people need you to just sit back and listen. I am going through it. Will you listen? I'm telling you, mutual respect forms the core of a strong, lasting relationship. Courtesy is saying that I have respect for you, for who you are, what you love, what God has for you to do, everything you will become, your evolving process. I have love for you. I have respect for you. not just love. I have respect for you. I have courtesy. And developing mutual respect take a conscious effort so that you can have that mutual respect in the courtesy in your relationship. Because I cannot keep giving people words. I'm so sick of people giving me words with no actions, mad at me because I move on without them because you don't put no actions. Or I make a decision where you're not included because you don't put no actions in. But again, you're saying all the right words. Mutual respect is a cornerstone in any healthy relationship. But what does it exactly mean to mutually respect somebody? I want you to think about that in a relationship. It is not being polite to each other, but it is to reverence what somebody is and respect that. Cultivating mutual respect can be challenging, especially in this fast-paced, individualistic society we live in. Because right now, singleness, oneness, yours is promoted in this society right now. It's a very individualistic society. You have everybody want to get married, but want to live separate. I have my bank account, but I'm married to you. You have your bank account, but you're married to me. You know what I mean? I'll pay half the bills. You pay half the bills. I'll give you when I get paid and never, or I got to ask you for something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have access to yours. Okay, this is for the kids. This is for that. And study us. So right now, we dive into the concept of mutual respect. The importance of mutual respect in intimate relationship provide mutual respect examples I'm going to offer you coming soon. I'm about to offer you these mutual respects because I want you to get this. I'm going to give you 10 steps and I'm going to go through them and I'm going to be done. 10 steps on how you can build a mutual relationship between people with courtesy in a relationship. I'm going to go through them because I want to give you the things that you have to look for, because conflicts will less likely occur when you have methods on how you can deal with that and actually have courtesy. Because you are not owed anything because you were hurt. A person that is getting into a relationship with you is starting from day one, like you started from day one. Everything that happened to you in your life prior to that person is not that person's responsibility to fix, and they're not responsible for helping you through it. They will if they love you, but you cannot hold them responsible for what somebody else did. Everything that happened to that other person happened before they met you. They had a life before you, and you must be cognizant of their road to get to you. I'm in this radio station now, and I have a brilliant engineer. We have the owner here, and we have other staff here. And we're all here, but I guarantee you we all came from different directions to get here. The only thing that we have in common with our directions is the fact that we both came down Holiday Drive and we all turned into this parking lot. But everybody came a different way and direction because everybody lived a different way. But do I have the right to not respect the engineer's method of getting here? Is my way better than his way because I took a different way? but I still ended up in the same place. No. So when you meet somebody, your pain is not greater than his pain, or his pain is not greater than your pain. That we must both be respectful. And I can't build boundaries for this new person on the actions of old people. You know, people say, well, because let's be realistic. Like a therapist said, where did you get your boundaries from? You get your boundaries according to what has been done to you, not what will be done to you. So I don't want to limit somebody's ability to give to me because I'm setting them at a standard of somebody else's misdeeds, and I'm setting my boundaries on where I've been at. I want to set my boundaries on where I'm going. I don't want to be somebody's past, and I want to be somebody's present. I want to be that future person. Why? Because I want to be somebody you with that's going to go somewhere, not just wallow in the things that we don't have or we're not doing or we're not happy about. Let's change it. I can't prevent, or I can't go back and change what happened to me, but I do have a responsibility to get healed now. And I'm going to go through 10 steps that will bless you on connecting your courtesy with, having relationship courtesy, for you to be able to welcome somebody in your life, to welcome them into your heart, to welcome them and to realize that there's duality. There's two people, that you must show love to each one of them. And the first thing you have to do is to have active listening. That's number one, active listening. Taking time to truly listen and understand each other's perspective is important in a relationship. When both partners are actively engaged in listening to each other's thoughts, feelings, and concerns, it shows the value and respect for each other. This helps to improve overall communication and connection. You have to hear my heart without prejudgment or already been ideas in your ears about what I'm trying to say and do. You cannot give me what I don't need or make me accept the love that is not good for me. No matter how sincere your love is, no matter how much you love me, no matter how good of a person you are, you cannot make me take a love that is not ordained by God or that is good for me. I don't want to be in love or be with somebody that cannot actively listen to who I am, to listen to my heart, to not always shut down or go over talk or always change something, to make them the forefront. If I have to battle the world and come home and battle my wife or battle a person that I need to be vulnerable with or cover me, then I can't do that. That's not a place I need to be in. The Bible said you would rather live on the edge of a rooftop than a house of strife. You don't want to be there, because now you are, and you think about why did he say on the edge of a rooftop? Because if you're fighting in the world and you're fighting at home, that's a slow suicide. That will kill you. But to listen to other people's thoughts, feelings, and concerns. I have a right to have concerns about you or about anybody in my life. I have a right to thoughts because I don't want to be in a place where I'm having subtle conversations in a relationship that's supposed to be love or marriage. I'm having subtle conversations. I'm having conversations about the outer stuff because I don't want to deal with no inner stuff. I want to keep the peace. So I'm passing by you, just having a little subtle conversations. All right, what you going to do today? Not much. Okay, all right, have a great day. Bam. But you're supposed to be my wife. It felt good to talk to somebody that's listening. Active listener. Sometimes if you listen long enough, you'll hear somebody's heart. But if you constantly trying to compete with somebody or compete with their verbiage, then you just want to answer a question because you want to be seen, or you take everything personal, you've already lost. You've already made it tough for yourself. Because I'm going to tell you something about me. As long as I'm openly talking to you, we good. But when I stop talking to you, now you have a problem. Because I don't talk to somebody I can't talk to. When I rush to get off the phone, or I say I'm probably gonna call you and don't call you, you got a problem. Because I ain't gonna waste my time. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to talk to somebody that I can't talk to. Not gonna do it. Not gonna happen. You can't hear nothing I say because people are rude. Not to cut you off, but let me say this. Or let me stop you right there. Do you know one of the things that I did one day years ago when I was on another radio station? I said to somebody in church because I was doing my radio show after church. I said, I'm going to show you how rude Christians are. I am going to talk about something, and I want you to count how many times that a lot of Christians cut me off. I've never finished my sentence. They went on about their stuff. And then they wonder why people ain't coming to church, because you're not hearing their heart so that God can give you a word. I was interrupted 18 times. Conversations. I never finished a thought. Let me tell you what I feel about this. Oh, yeah, but yeah, this is happening, and this that. They're not listening and wondering why people don't want to come into church. People don't want to come in. It makes you think about that. Let's go to 2. Number 2, honest communication. Effective and open communication is the key to maintaining mutual relationship and mutual respect in relationship. This is being open and truthful with each other while also being mindful of how you communicate. Communicating openly and respectfully is a great example of mutual respect. Hence, building a stronger bond is feasible. Some people won't be honest. They're going to go around the whole world. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you. If I don't have a safe place with you or anybody that I'm with, I'm not going to be there. Loving somebody because they're a good person doesn't mean that they're right for you to be God. They're not. If you can't talk to somebody, you done. You can't openly honest. If I ask you an open and honest question because that's in my heart, and you start acting funny and you start turning it about you, I will never try to talk to you again. I will never talk to you about anything important again. Once I know that I can't talk to you about something serious without you taking it personal and offensive, I can't be honest, open, you will never have another conversation about anything important to me again. Nothing. I'm not going to do it because I realize I can't talk to you. So you think everything is hunky-dory. It's not, because you just got somebody that is not talking to you because they can't talk to you. So you like, oh, what is really going on? This person, what makes you feel this way? No. I found that out. And it only takes the one time. When I ask you a personal or serious question and you try to make it about this or make it about that, or, you act funny like this, you change it on me, I will never try to talk to you again. There are people right now that's like, I don't understand why we're not together. We're not together because I can't talk to you. And we will never be together because I can't talk to you. And then you ain't even looking at that. Because I asked you one question and I said something in my heart and it was like, oh, I'm going to turn it back. There was a guy right there who told this woman his heart, and she went in and called him all type of punks. But then crying about getting divorced to him. Well, man, supposed to be tough, man. But no, man is still a person. Got feelings. So if I can't be open, honest to you, I can't talk. Let's go to number 3. Supporting each other's goals and aspirations. Respecting your partner also means supporting each other's goals and admirations, encourage each other to pursue and achieve personal and professional goals. This is a great example of respect because it helps keep the relationship alive. There are people who have said they love me and don't know nothing I do. They don't know anything about, they don't support anything I do. They don't even ask the questions about my life, but they love me. You know, this is our past relationships. You know what I mean? But then you meet somebody that you just meet, and they find out about your whole life because they care. They bless you because they care. Let me support you. Most people don't want support because they want to worry about what you give to them. They don't want to support you and stuff. They don't even want to know about it. If you don't bring up stuff to them, they always say, well, I figured if you wanted me to know something, you would tell me. Really? So you're only interested in what I bring you. You're not interested in anything because you're too interested in what I bring to you. Sound like it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about right.
I don't ask you questions about your life. I don't even know what you're going through in life. And I don't even care. Because you're not with me. You're not loving me. You're not being what I want you to be for me. So I don't care. I only know about your few little problems. So I ain't gonna, it don't matter. I'm in one of the greatest transitions in my life of greatness. Financial abilities, anointings, positions. One of the greatest transitions, excuse me. But a lot of people don't know that because they're not concerned with it. Because they're only concerned with who I am to them and what I bring to them. Number 4. So I'm going to tell you that we go to first 3, active listening, honest communication. 3 is supporting each other's goals and admirations. Number 4 is respecting personal space and alone time. Certainly, respecting personal space is a crucial aspect of mutual respect in a relationship. When you respect each other's needs for privacy and time alone, you demonstrate respect for each other's well-being. This allows each individual to recharge and pursue individual interests. I need to be able to respect your alone time. I cannot make you feel bad because I'm trying to manipulate your heart and your mind to spend every living time with me. I understand that you have personal goals. You were starting a business before you met me. And if I'm with you in a mutual relationship, I must respect that and encourage that and say, go ahead, because I must give you time to recharge. Because sometimes being interactive with people is draining. Sometimes people don't know how draining they are. You know, I want this, I want that, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. You know, I have to be okay with respecting your need for privacy. Some things you may not want to say to me now. You know, not that you hold a secret, but you may not want to talk about something now. One of the things that will turn me off quicker than anything, if I'm going through stuff, but I'm not emotionally in a place where I can talk about it, but you keep pressing it, or I say, you know what, let's end this conversation, and you keep going in, you will never have another conversation with me. Because sometimes you got to let people regroup and get their bearings under them and get their mind right before you do it. But when you see they're in the heat of what they're going through and they're trying to catch their breath and they're trying to get their mind right and they're trying to get their heart regulated and they're trying to get their emotions under control, but you keep pressing them because you just feel like you got to talk about it, you got to love, you lost them. You got to respect their personal space. I don't let nobody rush me into saying, I'm going to talk to you when I'm ready to talk to you. And I'm going to talk to you when I prayed about it, when I'm in a great place in my heart and a great place in my mind, so that my words are controlled, my emotions are regulated, and I have no malice in my heart. But if you're going to press me when I need that a long time, or I need to get away, or I need to recharge, you in trouble. Because that means you don't give a care about who I am or what I need at the time. All you want to do is satisfy your needs and your wants and your desires and what means to you. That's all you care about. You know, I have to be able to respect your entrepreneur spirit and your goals, and I have to be able to respect if you need time away. You may need time away with your girls. You may need time away. You may need to get away from the kids. Go ahead. Go take a couple of days. Go away. Go get some rest. Go get some sleep. I got it. You know what I'm saying? I'll take care of everything. You go do that, and then, go take a spa weekend or spa day. Go out with a road trip with your friends. Y'all gonna have a good time. Then you come back, recharge, and you ready to go, and then we'll go from there. Let's go with number 5. Sharing household chores and responsibility. Working together to maintain a house of harmony is a key aspect of mutual respect in relationship. When both partners take responsibility for maintaining the household, they're showing respect to each other's time and energy. We have to work together to build something. We got to work together to build a household. We have to work together to build a business. We have to work together. We have to do it as a team. We can't just do it and you doing it and I'm doing it and you doing it and I'm doing it. No, it's got to be, we're working together. We're building together. If I'm with somebody with kids and I got my kids cleaning up, your kids got to clean up too. I don't give a care if they're not my blood kids. Any kids that I'll take care of that's under my roof, gonna go by my word and my rules, what I say. So if my kids out there cleaning up, they gonna be out there cleaning up. It's a whole household that's gonna be cleaning up. I'm not playing that. It ain't gonna be like, well, we don't normally have to do that. I don't give a care. You gonna do it today. We gonna do it. We both work together. That's why I told somebody who, when they got married, they were asking me, well, he has a beautiful house and I have a beautiful house. Should we, rent one of them out and then live in one house? And I said, you should sell both of those houses and get a house together. Because even though if they live in your house, it's still your house. So your kids feel like they got a greater lease on that house than he does. So he come in and try to change something, they may have an attitude with that. Whereas his house, his kids may have a certain stake to that house where they feel like you don't have a right to come in and change stuff. But if you both buy a new house where none of you have lived and you establish the rules and regulations and the ground, the foundation together, now both have to abide by that. See, it's a difference. So you both working together. Number 6 is to be mindful of each other's feelings. Respecting your partners also means showing empathy and understanding when the other person's upset or distressed. When partners are able to put themselves in each other's shoes and understand each other's perspective, it shows that they respect, care, and have love for each other. One of the things that you have to be able to do if you're going to be successful with courtesy when it comes to a relationship is your ability to take your shoes off and put their shoes on. That shows love. Because why are you walking this way? Why are your feet hurting this way? Why do you feel this way? Let me stand where you stand and see where you see so I know how you feel. Let me do that. Many people don't want to do that. Many people don't want to do that. I got my point because this is where I sit from. It's just like me and you looking at a car. And when I look at a car, I say there's 4 wheels. That's my logic. But if I'm looking at the car from the way I'm sitting at, then I am seeing 2 wheels. We must look at the other person's perspective. Let me tell you a story. There was a lady and a man who would meet in the kitchen every morning. He would sit there with his cup of coffee, reading his paper, right? And his wife would come in there every day, and she would look at this window through the kitchen at the neighbors hanging up clothes on the line. And she kept saying, that is so bad and trifling that she is hanging up dirty clothes every day. She hang up them dirty clothes. Can't she buy some better soap? Can't she buy some every day? She's hanging up these dirty clothes. She's trifling, and she started to talk about it. And she did this for a couple of mornings. So one morning, she come down. Her husband sitting at the table like every morning with his cup of coffee and his paper. And then she looked out the same window and said, wow, the neighbor finally got some good soap. Her clothes is clean. She's hanging up there. I'm so proud of her because she was so trifling the other day, and she got clean clothes and clean soap. And the man lowered his paper. He said, no, I just washed the windows. I washed the windows. So now you're seeing the neighbor through clean windows, which changes your perspective. So her sheets and her clothes was always clean. You were just looking at it from dirty windows, from your own perspective. And a lot of times we look at people and don't consider their feelings because we're looking at what they're going through from our own perspective, from dirty windows that's dirty from the inside, not from the outside. And so we deliver messages, we talk to people, and we treat people as the lady was treating that lady in her yard because she thought she had dirty clothes, but the lady never had dirty clothes. She was just looking at a dirty window. And some of you all need to clean your windows because you're looking at what God has blessed you with out of dirty windows, out of windows of pain, out of windows of hurt, out of eyes of unforgiveness. So when he sends you that wonderful person, you don't see him because you're too busy looking at him from your dirty lenses and not who God made them. Let me go to number 7. Avoid criticism and blame. Nowadays, couples usually blame each other for various misunderstandings, which hampers the atmosphere of relationship instead of working to find a solution to conflicts together. Things are going to happen. Things have happened to you in your life. I am not blaming you for the way you live. I'm not blaming anybody. What I'm saying is, let me help you find a solution. When stuff arises, I am not going to make it your fault, and you should not make it my fault. We should come together and say, how are we going to resolve this? One of the greatest aspects of relationship and courtesy is conflict resolution. Can we find a resolution to a conflict without demoralizing words, without criticism, without blame, without fighting? Can we find that this happened? Now let's work together to do that. It's like I am hungry and you're hungry and I got $5 and you got $5, but everything that we want costs $8. Okay, why not put our money together and we'll have what we want and still have $2 over? But most people want to still argue about the $5 they don't have and blame you for that $5. You know, a study working together, and people want to blame and criticize. You cannot blame me or criticize me for what went on in your life before you met me. If you are in a bad financial situation before me, you cannot blame or hold me responsible for that. You cannot look for a new person to change your life overnight when it costs you a whole lifetime to get in that position you in. You did not get over in that position overnight. So a man or a woman new in your life should not have to change your life overnight. And you have to avoid criticism. What makes me mad and is distasteful to me is somebody who just want to criticize my effort while they sit on their tail and do nothing. Like, you know, my little bit ain't great enough for you. Well, go get where's your little bit at? Where's your nothing at? That part burns me up. We got to stop criticizing people. We got to stop criticizing. You know, we have to work together in a mutually respectful way. Meaning that I got to hear the way you want to resolve this, and you got to hear the way I want to resolve it, and we'll find the best way to resolve it. I may be able to take a little bit from yours, and you take a little bit from mine, and we get a good solution together, and we rectify it. But we're not going to do that blaming each other and putting each other down. You know, everybody want to do it. Some of you'll be able to have sensible conversations with people. You stop blaming. Some people stop talking to people they can't talk to. You want to get that person back. You want to change your life. Start listening. Stop talking. Number 8, apologize when you're wrong. The best way to mess up an apology is with an excuse. I don't want your apology with an excuse. You know, this is the act of amending mistakes and making amends for the repair trust. You know, to ability to apologize, take responsibility for one's action, clearly demonstrates mutual respect. When both parties are willing to do this, they are showing respect for each other in a relationship. You got to admit you wrong. I can't stand people that always want to make excuses. You did this. Well, I was going through this. You did this. We always want to quote that scripture, the prayers of the righteous avail much, but we always miss the scripture before it where it says, confess one another your sins. Confess one another. Until I confess and bring to light what I've done and ask God to forgive me for it, then ask the person to forgive me for it, my prayers are not going to be answered. There's not righteous prayers hiding stuff. Why you think in confession is a part of repentance so that you can identify it so you won't do it again. God, I've done this. Forgive me for it. The man on the cross didn't make an excuse. He said, this man ain't done nothing. I deserve this. I should be here. He told him, he said, listen, when you get in your kingdom, remember me. Not because I'm a good person, not because I don't deserve to be in hell, not because I don't, you got to think, he took our place on the cross. He said, remember me. The other guy still trying to make deals on the cross died. You the Christ, save us yourself and save us. He didn't care about him being the Christ. He cared about being saved. He said, remember me. Some of us don't know how to apologize. Some of us can't admit when we're wrong. Therapist says the greatest person to psychoanalyze is yourself because you're going to always make you right even when your life says you're wrong, even when your results say you're wrong. God ain't never trying to do nothing. The Bible says he bears witness to what he does, what he sends. He doesn't need you to show his power. If God sent you to do it, he'll have the power there. The power will be manifested. You don't see miracles, signs, and wonders in church no more because they made it a business. They made it about proving points and study God's power. God leads me to do stuff. He leads me to do stuff, not on my own accord. That's why his power is manifested, because he leads me. Let's go to number 9. Giving compliments, expressing gratitude. Expressing gratitude is a fundamental aspect of mutual respect and courtesy. This is showing appreciation and acknowledgement to each other's positive qualities and contributions. I must give compliments. Even if my wife knows she's beautiful, I got to tell her she's beautiful every day. I'm going to tell her that, how much she means to me, how gorgeous she is, your contributions. I'm going to let her know that constantly. because I'm gifted and blessed to have this person. I'm not going to not treat her that I'm in a way that I'm not thankful for. You know, we got to be thankful for what God has blessed us with. We got to be thankful. When we think about the Lord's Prayer, the Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Let me acknowledge you, God. Let me thank you. Let me bless you for who you are. Let me thank you. Let me not just get on here and start asking you for nothing, or God do this like you don't know what I'm going through or what I'm doing. Let me thank you. Let me show my gratification, God. Let me thank you for dying for me on cross. Let me thank you. Not just to get on there and go back and forth. You're like you don't know. We don't show gratitude. We don't say thank you. Like a person's supposed to do this. Last, number 10, is to treat each other with dignity and respect. This is the fundamental aspect of developing mutual relationship of courtesy. This means respecting your partner in action and in words. Avoiding harmful, disrespectful behaviors and acknowledging others' worth and value. As it is known that respect for each other is a relationship is important, couples can develop strong foundation of mutual respect and courtesy in their relationship by following the steps that I've given you, where both are valued and respected in an environment where both people are growing. A therapist said something that blew me away when it came to courtesy. Some people think wanting to deserve courtesy and respect from your spouse or mate is a way of promoting conditional love. But then they wonder why they are single. Conditional love is doing something for somebody when you are doing something for somebody to benefit. You know, that is conditional love. Well, I'm only doing it because I'm trying to get something out of it. People are human beings. They are children of God. They have feelings. In every relationship, it is a give and receive relationship. There are two people who are supposed to be happy, benefiting, and growing in relationship, not just one person. I must be cognizant of what I bring to somebody and what I am giving somebody. Anybody that know me, I go certain places for food. I go certain places for food. I go certain places for jerk chicken. I go certain places for rib tips. I go certain places for hoagie sandwiches. I go certain places for soul food, which is the church is the best. I go certain places for everything in my life. You know, there's restaurants where I go that I've been, I will never go. I go certain place for fish because I will not give you something that I won't eat myself. People always ask me, are you a food connoisseur? Because everything you bring good, because I get things fixed for you the way that I would get fixed for myself. Because I want to make sure that I do unto others as I want them to do unto me. But my partner, my mate, is worth the best. And it is my job to take that person's happiness personal. It is my job to give them more than just idle words and empty promises. It is my job to love them and to activate all 10, which is active listening, honest communication, supporting each other's goals and admirations, respecting the person's personal space in a long time, sharing the household chores and responsibilities, being mindful of each other's feelings, avoiding criticism and blame, and apologizing when wrong. Number 9, giving compliments and expressing gratitude. And number 10, treating the other with dignity and respect. That is the courtesy we need in a relationship today. We have not held ourselves accountable into a presentable standard when we are attracting somebody. Why is it that when we attract somebody, we go way out of our way to get them? We give them so much in the beginning, but once we have the relationship and the marriage, that our effort decreases, when in actuality, our effort must increase. I must not just do what I need to do to get the blessing, but I got to be willing to put in the work so that I can keep the blessing. I can't just be one single-minded person on what I want and what I want to do and how I feel. And that I want the whole relationship to be a reflection of what I want to do and what I believe, and not a reflection of two people coming together as one, working together as a team. That I have to look at what I bring. One of my favorite episodes of the Cosby Show was when Vanessa, she told everybody about her engagement to Dabney, and Bill Cosby said in the show that I don't want him, I don't want you to think that this house is not fair, because that's what we're fair. He asked him, he said, do you have a favorite food? He's like, yeah. I like steak. Oh, porterhouse, good steak. And then, I can see the Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts said, yeah, you like good loaded potato. And it sounds good. He said, I fix it all perfect for you, but I put it on the garbage can lid and hand it to you. He said, not very appetizing. He said, no. He said, that's how she bought you in here, in the garbage can lid. And a lot of people don't look at what they're giving people. You're mad at people for leaving you, but you put no efforts in to keep them. And then you get mad at them for leaving you for somebody better, because you want them and love them, but you put no effort in. You don't even think about doing anything nice for them. But then when they like, okay, this is not working out, you're mad. You feel like they mess with you, they wasted your time, they hurt you. No. They came into your place of sanctity and they found no peace. They didn't find what they thought they were going to find. They needed you, but you wasn't there. They needed you to bless them, but you didn't. You didn't care about their feelings. And I really want to talk to the people out here. I want you to get this. People are special. In this day of time, when you find a good, loving person, because there are so many few out here, you want to keep that person. You want to treat that person with everything you got, because the only way you got that person is because of God. So don't treat that person any kind of way like you can get a person like that again. You can't. You can't. You can't. I know what God blessed me with. I know where he's taking me. I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Relationship courtesy is very powerful. I never thought about it. I never thought about what I receive from people. I never gave that a thought. What I receive from people. When I looked over my life, and I was speaking to Prophet June when I was in a prophetic counseling, she said, "Look at your life. Look at the people that criticize you the most. Every relationship, look at what they bought you, but they never left empty-handed. But they left, but they never left empty-handed because they were never with you for who you are. They was always with you for what it is you bring. They was always with you for what it is they can get. I want you to really think about that. I want you to really put that in your mind.
Okay. First.
And I was like, I'm sorry about my phone. My fault. I forgot my phone just went out. and so my message to everybody is that having somebody good in your life is a blessing. Don't always see things from your point of view. Everyone has to be happy. Many people are in places that they're trapped in because they're in a place where they're giving everything they got to someone that's giving them nothing. I am choosing on where God is taking me. And a lot of times it's not always that people are playing or people, it's not that they don't want to be with you or, think something is wrong. It's not that. Some people just don't want what you have. They don't want to feel that. They don't want to go through that. Is that time on the screen right? 152? Why my clock says something different?
Right time.
Yeah. So I just wanted to I pray this show bless somebody, and I hope you really been blessed by it because it blessed me because this show came about today because it was a tribute and testament to a person that blessed me through some rough times and blessed me and helped me and blessed me that I had no idea and made me really rethink the word I love you. Really rethink because it makes no sense that so many people who say they love you and so many people who and don't even mention anything, don't even open up, don't even have any courtesy period or nothing. But then you meet somebody who blesses you, who helps you, that comes out of nowhere and say, wow, who reminds you of what it is you are, reminds you of who you are to God, and reminds you of who you are, period. Let me do something nice for you. Let me bless you. Let me help you. Let me help you understand a place that I can be vulnerable at. Blew me away. I can be vulnerable. Do you know how many people who love me I can't be vulnerable with? I can't tell them nothing. Can't say nothing. To meet somebody who you can be vulnerable with, that's different. That's different. They don't want nothing from you. Just want you to be okay. Bless them. Let me do something nice for you for your birthday. Let me bless you. That touched my heart. This person in the last couple of weeks helped me tremendously. Stuff I'm going through, nobody knew I was going through. Stuff was happening with my family. Stuff was happening. And you can't say nothing to everybody because you don't know how they're going to take it. This person blessed me. Blessed me tremendously. Blessed me like never before. So I want to thank you guys. Now, next week, I don't know what my show is going to be about next week because it's a holiday. So the following week, I may take off a weekend. I don't know. So, but I'm going to see. But I'll let you guys know what we're going to do because, it's the holiday and I might not do a show. I might do the following week. So we'll see. But man, listen, you all, we got to work together. We got to love each other. We got to take care of what God has given us. We got to stop taking stuff for granted. We got to think, we can't think that we're due tomorrow. We got to love and give everything today. This was one of my most personal shows. This was a show that blessed me, especially from the beginning of my prophetic counseling training to the one I'm in now, to the fact that I have a pastor that's giving me great structure. This is one of the best moments I'm in. And then when I was going through some of my rough time, God sent the angel, a blesser, somebody to bless me, somebody that helped me through it, somebody talked me through it, somebody that let me encourage you, let me give you a word, let me do something nice for you, let me do that. And it changed. It changed my whole perspective on everything. And for me, if there is no relationship courtesy, there is no place I want to be at. And I don't care how much I love somebody. I don't care what I mean to somebody, what somebody mean to me. If it's not relationship courtesy and we're not pouring and blessing each other, it's not a place I want to be. I don't want to be it. I'm not going to be it. You got to realize that if you got somebody that loves you to pour into you, you better hold on to them for dear life. But if you just with a good person who is not concentrating on you or not up, are not with you because they with you or want to be with you, then you have to do something different. You have to make up in your mind that we're not going to do this. We're not going to love. We're not going to do that. I am not going to hurt anybody. I'm not going to go any further. What are you creating? One of the things I've learned in my prophetic counseling is I have to be in a place to create and grow. I am never going to be fulfilled in life unless I'm creating and growing. You have to find your purpose in God and where God is taking you, and you have to have a relationship that mirrors that. You have to make up in your mind that I am going to be happy and I'm going to build. Like I said on the show before, Eve was not created for Adam's compatibility or happiness, but it was for where God was taking him and the journey for them to work together. Treat that loved one, that wife, that husband, that special person like their gift every day. Treat them like every day is your last day because it could be. Love them with the dignity, honest, and care about their feelings. Give them 200%. Put them before everyone because your first ministry as a man and woman of God is your marriage ministry, not your church. That's after that marriage ministry. God first, marriage, then church. And your church ministry should resemble your marriage ministry. And if you got that person, don't take them for granted. Don't hurt them. Don't just think they're going to be there. Don't see everything your way. Put yourself in their shoes. Love them the way they need to be loved. Open up. But don't be that way. Don't do that. Because you're not promised. I thank God for everything that God is doing. And I take none of it for granted. So, y'all, I will see you guys next week. If I don't, I'll make an announcement. But please understand, you got to be your own rescue. You got to get up and you got to rescue yourself. But stop blaming people. Stop blaming everybody, because it's not everybody's fault. It's your responsibility to get help. It's your responsibility to seek God and ask for the solution. But you can't do it by yourself. I love you guys. See you guys next week. Deuces.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
Views made on the preceding program are not those of WVTC Radio, iNetworks Communications, or their financial supporters.
Winning victory through Christ, WVTC, Allsip, Chicago, and iNetworks Communication Station.